got there? Oh, there we are. We've got Lorraine in the house. And we've got, hi Lorraine. Hi there. Welcome, welcome. And good evening to you too. And we also got Veronica in the house. Hi Tracy, welcome back. Good to see you. Welcome. Who else is in the house there? Hi Shell. Hi, hello there. Good to see you here. Welcome, welcome. And hi Doris. Hi. We got Doris is in the house. Awesome. And this is our third episode in the series that I'm doing over the next 4 weeks, and then we've got plans for the future. But right now we're focusing on the element fire. Fire is all with us. It's about raising that energy. It's the it rises in the element of or the directional point of south. I just did a reading, so I mixed up. I had it all set today, and that's the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is all about, it comes underneath the element of fire. See, fire, we burn. Fire is all about our passions. It's about fanning the flames. And when we think of fire in a mythical sense, we can consider things like a phoenix rising from the ashes. You know, so like fire can be. It's all about our passions. It's all about love and creativity, and as well as transformation, change. It can bring about pain. Fire can be really destructive. So therefore, when we tend to fires, we've got to look after them. We've got to add the logs to them. We've got to contain them. And therefore, it becomes a creative fire. But out of fire, all things, pretty much, is created. Particularly when we're thinking of industries or you know, so we make things out of fire. I think of a blacksmith forging a tool like the sword. I knew it was going to make sense. The sword right there. So we forge tools like so out of fire, and this is a process of creativity. And I'm just going to mention, some moons ago, we've all had our experiences with heat, perhaps fire. Was some years ago, probably about 4 or 5 years ago now, my beloved motorhome, Veronica and I lived in, a beloved motorhome caught on fire. And it was rapid, and it suddenly this element that I love sitting around fires. I love magical circles that involve fire. I love candle magic, for example, and you know, and creating energy around fire. I love cooking on fire. Yeah, I love cooking on an open fire in particular. But then I saw the destructive nature of fire that took away something I built, and it was this motorhome, and we spent a lot of time in it, and there it was. In less than 3-4 minutes, this thing was ablaze. And about an hour later, the flames were just, you know, put out by the fire brigade, and our vehicle, our beloved home, had been returned into the shell, burnt out shell, and with it a lot of personal belongings, diaries, show material. We had banners, all sorts of books, those types. They all went up in flame, and there I had a very different kind of experience with fire. It kind of put me in my place to a certain degree. So there's that other side of fire, of transformational. But as it was burning, as it was literally burning, just it was too early to say to Veronica at the time, because but I saw a phoenix rising out of the ashes, and I knew great things would come out of it. But a healing process we had to go through. But the element of fire is one of my favourite elements, and in that sense, is one of my favourite elements. And right now, I'm just gonna see if I can bring this in and light a candle. And I'm just going to be burning this. It's not going to stay there. But just welcoming the fire in, the fire element in. And I'm just going to ask you folks, if you can put it into the comments, when you think of fire, what comes to mind? What things do you consider? What things come to mind? So one, for example, I mentioned the sword. But that's because it's been forged underneath the heat of a fire. What things comes to mind when you think of fire? So one of them is, if you could put it into the comments. Very interesting. On a side note, transformation, Veronica, beautiful. Yeah. And it is true. We do these transformational gatherings, and we have when we do, we literally bring and raise energy around the fire as part of one of our evenings. We spend 3-day focus, and we raise this energy with beautiful people. And during that time, people bring their things they want to let go of. So that's really good. So for example, we could say it's bringing the lead, that which no longer serves us in our lives, to the fire. And so we're bringing the lead to let go of in search of gold. And coming back to what V just said, bringing about transformation, bringing about change. We've got energy from Veronica, from Lorraine, and thank you, Lorraine. And yes, energy is a great element again to be working with. Energy is all about raising that energy. So you imagine creativity can be really visualized in making a fire. If you ever made a campfire, or if you've got a fire in your house, or you've made a log fire, what we do, we get the kindle together and we build up the what we envision to be the fire itself, and then we start with a spark, perhaps a match, and we start with that spark. Especially when you're outdoors, it can be, starting a fire could be a little bit more challenging than it would be indoors. But when you start that spark you've got to protect, and you've got to get it into the embers, and you've got to blow on those embers, and you've got to get it glowing and then burning, and then the wood becomes gets the flame, and next minute you have a fire. But the heat doesn't really come into later. As the fire builds up, those coals break down, and then we're really getting into heat. It starts chucking out the heat, like any good heat source, from cold to hot. And it's just like our creative ideas, or energy, creating energy and raising energy. And as we're creating our sacred circles, or even the magic of lighting a candle, just a candle, can be symbolic of that magic, can be symbolic of the magic within, and that which we want to manifest. And there's a beautiful saying, there's not enough darkness in the whole world to put out the light of one candle. Hi Doris. Energy, yes, energy as well. Because we've hit on it, but there's another energy source. Is literally the vitamin C, if you like, or vitamin D that you get from the sun, direct sun, and it feeds your body, and we need it. We need that sun in our body. We need that energy in our bones and our body, so it's good for us. It nourishes us. Okay, so we have a lot of things which is now symbolically, fire in itself, creativity, it covers creativity, sparks, inspiration. We've covered warmth, passion, love, and purification. Another word for transformation, purification, purifying ourselves. and being aware that fire can also scorch us, can also burn us. So those passions, if they take over our lives, those passions that can, and as I shared my story earlier, they can literally be dangerous. So we need to contain our fires as well. I'll mention right here that the fire, when it comes down to the elements, air, fire, water, and earth, fire rises in the south, and this is simply because the sun is at the peak of its day, so it is as hot as so there it rises. It comes underneath the element of south right there, and Amanda. It was great seeing you in the house. I've sent you off something special today, and something you commissioned me to do during the last gathering, and that is your magic wand. And you sourced that wand yourself out of all the wood that we had provided out of so we got olive wood, oak wood, and so on, hazel, and you chose an olive wand. And I haven't got it here with me for obvious reasons. It's now making its way to you, but that literally comes back to the element of fire, and it is a magical one that's coming to you. So that's great. So it's very timely. And Tracy, determination. Yes, determination. And that's one of those things in regards to our creative processing, and being determined to make things and manifest things and make things happen. This is all, Well, in regards to passion, this is one of those things. We come back to it quite often, and we're often involved in a lot of magical projects and creating shows, and creative energy is a big part of our work, and we work with it closely. And it's and at times you have to return back to base. You have to return back to your heart, if you like. And there's many illustrations and stories I could share with you, and that's it. And sometimes when I lose my passion, if you like, for what I do, I have to return to what I call my first love. I return back to what really got me. I remind myself of why I got involved in magic as such. But right now I've got like I said, I got a special guest, and we all know her, and I thought it was really appropriate and good timing, because this special guest, her birth sign and her birth element, I should say, comes underneath fire. Myself is air, but hers is fire, and I'm going to invite none other than Veronica Morris to come and join me, and she's literally in the studio with me, and and I get you to come through, and there you are. So we're going to share the screen and see how this goes. And
hi everyone.
Yes. Yeah. So Veronica, welcome to the show and the Magic Wizardry Live.
Yeah, no, I've been sitting listening to it all, and
well, it's the first time you've been in the room with me, because normally you're across the way in your own space, and but right here and now, I've got so I obviously know you very well, and we've spent a considerable amount of time together, and we work together, we do shows together, and we travel up and down the country doing shows together, and but you're a very creative individual. And I know that you're a person who, some of the creative things I've seen you do, but number one, you've created your own show, you're your own performer, and you're also a person who's built a house. You've built a house, an ecological house, and and at late you've written a book, right? You've written a book, and it's an amazing book at that. And so Veronica, can you tell me about your your processing right there. Well, what makes you that creative person? What's your spark? What's your energy?
Uh, the the spark for that was to be able to travel the world and go see different places and give up my 9 to 5 and learn and use new skills and take my people skills some onto a different level and begin performing, busking, and my spark for that more than anything was my desire to want to step away from the life that I was living and to be able to travel and to be able to make money as I went and to be able to do things. So that's where that fire came for that. And the show has it's been something that's developed over the years as I've gained more skills and confidence, and sometimes I get, oh, just like you were saying, going, okay, I've twisting another balloon. Oh, I need to do something else. And so when I start feeling low on energy on what I'm giving, then I start to get excited and I get a spark about wanting to do something else. And so that's where that spark that's where that comes from. But I have to flame that fire, and I have to find that energy as well, and that's where that comes from.
And you've developed a big show now. You've actually got a show now which you've taken around the world. You've got a show. You've been performing it in Cardiff Castle in the centre of Cardiff, and it's a big show. And you've also taken this show to Las Vegas. You've taken this show to the Far East. Southeast Asia, and where you're performing it in one of the biggest casinos in the world. This is the humble pie she's talking about, but she's really taking this show to some places, right?
Yeah. It's I had no idea, like what often happens in my life, where this journey was going to take me, and it was an end to a means to a certain degree, and then I just discovered my passion for it, and how I could transform somebody's day by just something simple, by making a beautiful balloon for a little child. It doesn't just make the child smile, it makes grandmother smile who's walking through town going, oh, something else. It's that ability to change people's moment in time, like you do with magic, and and that's what's kept me. That's what's kept the fun for me, and sometimes I think I'm having more fun than the kids sometimes,
Superb. I mean, you've also gone and applied skills like complete polar opposite to what performing. You've gone and built a house, a straw bale house.
Yeah.
And that was. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, as Mary was talking about earlier, about the phoenix coming from the fire, which actually happened at this time of year. I think it was the 28th or 29th of October. It was fire season that it happened, so that was a massive transformation. And the building the house was during lockdown, and it was something that it was just something to get up, and it was a determination to get this job done, and that was it was the ability to it was just determination. Who was it? I think it was Tracy. Yeah, Tracy said determination. That's absolutely what fire is. Fire is that determination, because there was days you'd wake up every day going, whoa, I don't know if I can do this. It's 28 degrees out there, and we're building, we've got more straw bale to put up and cob to make. But it was determination of being able to go through with the project and to see it through was really really important.
That's really cool. That's because that leads us on to this next subject. And Veronica has gone and written a book. This is The Golden Mirror, and it's already available. However, the official launch is happening in literally next week. And this is The Golden Mirror. And talking about determination, I was around when Veronica was working on this, and boy, she was determined to make this happen. But Veronica, this is an amazing achievement. I've got my own signed copy, but this is an amazing achievement. Can you tell me the creative process behind this?
Well, talking of fire, the process of this all we've been sitting around circle. We've been sitting in circle for years, many years, and in Vegas where we did magic circles, fire circles there as well. And the one thing that was always I was brought to a circle was that one day my future plans, I'll write a book. And I always thought in my own mind, if I wrote a book, it'd be a practical book, or it would be a spiritual book, or it would be a self-help book. And then one day, it was halfway through lockdown, we were sitting here in Glastonbury in our caravan in the shadow of the Tor. And this story came to me, and that's when I made up my mind there and then. I was like, I'm going to write every single day for 20 minutes until this story is finished. And
that was a beautiful energy to be around, actually. So we had that. You were doing that, and of course, I was waking up in that and first thing in the morning. So that was just created sparks of creativity.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was a lot of, because it was lockdown, because we had the fire, because there was there was a lot of stuff going on, but it was at my steady rock. Every morning I will get up and I'll do 20 minutes, and that was my intention. That was my fire intention.
Yeah.
What I've discovered since then, what I should have said was, I'm going to keep on going until I write, edit and publish it, because the editing and publishing took a good while after that. But yeah, that was my fire in my belly for this. And the ultimate, the kind of catalyst for this coming into physical being was, again, sitting in circle with some beautiful people who are actually here today at Bazaar Glastonbury. I wanted to be able to sit in that circle, and because last year I'd brought it to the circle saying I wanted to have it published and edited. And that was coming up in August, and you guys were the determination and the catalyst for that. And accountability and putting yourself out there when you've got a goal is hugely important. That'll really flame your fire, and every so often you might get a little poke from someone going, how's this and how's that, and it keeps you going, and that's what keeps the fire burning.
And
make
vice
yourself
versa.
accountable.
And I'm just going to put it out there because we've all got these experiences in our lives in different ways, and I know a lot of us have brought, including myself, have brought our own intentions around the fire and wanting to see things happening. So if you can summarize it in one word or a sentence, what have you brought to the fire? I mean, if you could pop it into the comments, one of and for myself is it's literally wanting to facilitate other people's dreams, goals, and ambitions to be a catalyst of helping people step in to their own goals, their own dreams and ambitions. So it's literally for me is if you like to coin a word, coaching. So using the tarot, working with people on that, doing journey works with people, and helping people move from where they're at to where they want to go. What we got there? We got something there.
Lorraine saying amazing book. Thank you, Lorraine. I know that you're one of my early readers. I so appreciate my early readers and the reviews that they've sent, and it's been wonderful, and makes me full of gratitude for people sharing.
So if you've got those thoughts, if you can share them in your own time. But I'm going to carry on with this. I've got a few more questions for you, Veronica, and about your book. And this is Can you read from the book that you'll be perhaps fitting in with the element of fire today?
Yeah, I would be happy to. I think the best thing I can do is read the description of the book on the back cover.
Oh, great. I'm going to suggest, listeners, that you close your eyes if you can and just listen to Veronica read this.
Ella lives a quiet life in Edinburgh, companion to the eccentric Miss Powell, a sharp-eyed elder with a gift for tarot and a love of healing herbs. It's a very comfortable existence. But everything changes when Ella stumbles across a golden mirror in the attic of the grand old Victorian house. One step through the mirror and Ella finds herself in 1920s Edinburgh, drawn into the world of Lily, a bold young woman defying society by volunteering at the local asylum. Though separated by a century, Lily's courage begins to awaken Ella's own. Back in the present, Ella faces her own challenges, a chaotic and troublesome sister, her growing feelings for the handsome handyman she's convinced will never notice her, and Miss Powell's mysterious wisdom guiding her towards something magical. But the mirror's pull is strong, and each journey blurs the line between past and present. Will it help Ella find her purpose in life, or is she risking missing opportunities in her own life? Walk through the streets of Edinburgh in the present day and a century past alongside Ella. The Golden Mirror is a moving tale of transformation, love and self-discovery.
That was like a form of guided meditation there. Wonderful. That's brilliant. I mean, it's I will say, last thing on your book, the characters in these books is that you really become really familiar with them. So when you come to the end of the book, it's really difficult. So you kind of got to accompany with these characters that you really grown to like. So on that front, so we got Shell.
I can't wait for the
You've read the book, haven't you?
Shell's another one of my early readers. Thank you. I've had some of the reviews I've had back that it's like lots of people are looking for her next adventures that wasn't meant as a series, but I'm not sure there'll definitely be another book, but I'm not sure who that will involve.
Yeah, I mean, you've had a pile of 5-star reviews coming in as well. So it's and this is it, folks. It's all about, this is how magic works. It starts off literally as an idea. So we start off with air as an idea, and we see it, and we begin to speak it into place. The fire is when we begin to forge it. We begin to manifest it. We begin to make that idea become a reality, a physical thing. And this is where magic has a science behind it, because that which is spoken literally happens. A wish, what is stated, happens. An acronym, what is stated, happens. Any thoughts? Any more thoughts for me?
No, the only one that comes to mind actually is when thinking about fire. It's the difference between thinking about that you want a book and the determination of knowing exactly what book you want and you're going to go out and get it. That's what fire is. It's kind of like you say, the thinking, and the fire is the action. So it's been lovely to be here and nice to see familiar faces and people in the comments, and so nice to be connected.
And folks, this is our show this week, and I believe the focus on the book for me is quite a meditative piece. And what's those words of wisdom again out of the book?
Try not to don't live in the past when there's so much to live for in the present.
Right.
Yeah, and Miss Powell, who's the elder, she's full of wise. She's based on every wise woman I've ever met in my life. Starting with my mother down, and next week in Edinburgh, launching it. So I'm highly excited. So thank you for me.
Where are you launching it in Edinburgh?
I'm launching it in the Witches Museum down the High Street in Edinburgh. So I think it's going to be perfect location for it.
The Witches Museum in central Edinburgh. This is so it's a stunning venue. So yeah, brilliant. And here's the thing: next week I'm going to perform a piece of magic, i.e. and linking it, and it's going to be a story. One of the witches that lost her life during the burning times in the United Kingdom, and so I'm going to bring it. It's going to be a very special show, and it's going to be slightly different to what we normally do. But like I say, come early, because I'm going to be performing a magic effect that I'm sure you'll never forget.
Lovely to see you all, and see you all again soon.
Have a beautiful week, folks.